right, guys.
I'll be
Get
home
in the
for
Christmas spirit.
Christmas,
That's my Russian hat.
only in my dreams.
Oh, man, I want to hear Mel Gibson sing that with his new gnarled voice.
How can I get a voice like Mel Gibson? Is that alcohol abuse?
And cigarettes.
Okay, I'm gonna get on that. I'm gonna get on that plan right away.
Right, as soon as we're off this one. All right, guys, get ready. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Nightcap. What's up, guys?
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back.
Special Christmas edition.
The Jingle Cap? Is that what we're calling it? Jingle Cap?
We're gonna go with I think we'll go with the Jingle Cap.
Jingle
All right,
cap.
I like it.
I like it. Said it. That sounds good.
Just like when they cut the bells off those poor elf shoes.
Oh,
No more jingle jangle for them.
Nope.
no, it has to pass the metal detectors, guys.
Oh man, but let's talk about this new movie we're gonna get into here, Fatman,
I like it.
2020, dark comedy. Wait, let's see here. So
Can
I
you
don't
call
know-
it a dark comedy?
That's how it's
I don't.
described. That's how they described it here. I mean, at least in this little synopsis here. But
Holiday thriller.
holiday thriller. Okay, why not? I don't know. Did this movie go straight to streaming services, or
I
it
think
doesn't look like it
yes.
was released? Or
Yeah,
at least
it
not here in
was,
the U.S.
No, straight to streaming because of the pandemic.
The never-ending pandemic.
Yeah,
All right. Well, let me go ahead and run down the synopsis and let's
Never-ending.
jump into this movie.
let's do it.
All right. Fatman is a 2020 American black comedy action film written and directed by, I'll say this name, Asham Nelms and Ian Nelms, and starring Mel Gibson, Walton Goggins, Marianne Jean-Baptiste, David Gordon Green, and Danny McBride served as executive producer.
No
The plot
way.
follows
All right.
an unorthodox Santa Claus who must fight off an assassin sent by a vengeful, naughty kid. Filmed in Canada, released worldwide November 13th, 2020. The film received mixed reviews. We'll see how our review goes. Had a budget of $20 million.
Okay.
Like I said, it looks like it was like a limited release. It only made 400,000. So, but I'm sure that's not counting. I don't know how much they made off the streaming services.
I
or
mean,
whatnot.
yeah, think about it. Everything's closed down. Well, a lot of theaters are closed down. How
Oh,
are you
yeah.
making a movie?
Yeah, everything's pretty much shut down right now. But let's get into the plot of this movie. This is a very different take. It's a new Christmas movie, which is nice because we all have our classics that we love, but it's nice to see something new,
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree. It's definitely something
So
different.
what'd you guys think of this plot here? I mean, this is they called it a dark comedy. I don't know, action thriller.
Yeah,
I don't even know how to describe this.
I don't think I would call it a dark comedy per se, just because. And then we were talking about this earlier off recording, but I like that they played it super straight. This concept is super insane. It's you know what I'm saying? It's Santa Claus getting a hit on him by a hitman. He has to take a military contract to get to keep his factory afloat. But they never played it tongue in cheek. They played it super straight, as if it is what it is.
Yeah. I liked it. It was to me, I mean, we kind of touched on this off before we started recording too. It's almost to me like they, Santa Claus is this mythical creature persona, and they kind of just went with it and kind of almost developed him into like a superhero type man. Even with the name Fat Man, they kind of alluding to it. And he's got this genitive powers. He's lived for ever. It seems like indeterminate length of time. Maybe he's an old guy. I don't know.
And like I said, I like that they played it super straight because they don't really delve into that. They don't delve into like how he lived so long. They don't delve into like why he has all these elves like in his factory.
They speak all different languages. I know that.
Yeah, they have to. All right, for all the kids.
I don't know.
What do you think of this? What do you think of this story, Rich?
I don't know, man. Like, honestly, it's cool, new Christmas story, but like, you know how you're struggling with the genre? I was kind of struggling with that the whole movie. It wasn't really quite sure what I was watching, other than a new type of Christmas movie. Because there's some parts that kind of took itself seriously, then there are other parts that, to me, didn't. Like the cutting off of the elf shoes because the metal detectors, the scene with the candies, the number system of naming. I mean, it did play it straight, but at the same time, no, it didn't. Like,
it's kind of like this. It's kind of like this podcast. We kind of play it straight, but we kind of don't. You know what I mean? Well, before we get into our scores on plot, what are we drinking tonight? We're doing a special because it's Christmas, right?
At least
for me,
you guys.
I'm drinking eggnog for the first time. This is the first time I ever drank eggnog, guys.
I'm drinking eggnog too. So just in case you guys thought I was drinking milk, this is actually eggnog. But I put a copious amount of bullet bourbon in it to kind of spice
Same.
things up.
Put a little scotch in
Yeah.
here.
I'm
Scotch,
drinking
Scotch,
eggnog.
Scotch.
I started off with whiskey and eggnog, and then I'm not gonna lie, the first time drinking eggnog too, that stuff is thick. I thinned it out with more coffee and whiskey.
Maybe we're gonna thin you out with some more coffee.
I know.
Oh no, I got the fat man down.
Get some protein and vegetables in you. You'll have a growth spurt.
Steroids.
Right.
If you don't want to ask Rich, just steroids, all right? But in terms of score for the plot, I gave it a 4. I thought it was, it wasn't super complex. It's just a new take on it. I thought it was pretty good, but I don't know. What do you think, Rick?
No,
what do you think, Al?
no Christmas joy with you guys. Because here's the thing: if people gave this a chance, this could be a new cult Christmas classic.
I think
right?
so.
I think it's still gonna turn into one.
Yeah,
and
I believe that so much. You know what I gave the plot? 10 out of 10.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
All right.
Let's
start this off right, guys.
A little much.
It's Christmas time.
That's a little thick, just like Rich's eggnog.
Not anymore. More like his eggnog. I gave it a 6.
Okay.
I mean, it was something new, something fresh. The story was kind of different, so I gave it a 6.
All right. Well, let's get into the production. I thought this movie looked great. One of the first things I put in my note was just the cinematography. Like, you could tell they took their time and they did this. They did it well. Sometimes with these indie films, you don't know what to expect, and it looks like it was made for TV. But I actually thought they did a pretty good job. And even some of this movie's got a lot going on. There's stunts, you know what I mean, going on. There's gunfighting scenes, you know what I mean. There's they even had to I'm sure do a little bit of CG with the elves and stuff. And I thought the whole time it looked great. And I thought the music was there too. They put little spices in there of like Christmas music in the background and stuff. And I don't know, I thought it was pretty good. I think I ended up giving it a 15 out of 20.
Nice. I gave it a 17 out of 20. I like the production. It was very slick. And you mentioned like the Christmas music. They kind of put that little bit in whenever Kris Kringle was driving his beat up Ford truck, and he always played like Christmas music, even though it was kind of like run down Christmas music. It wasn't Michael Bublé, all right.
No.
And
classic.
I liked it. I liked it. I liked, like I said, like I mentioned in the plot, I liked that they played it straight, and I liked that it was gritty. It was, dare I say, gritty pretty. It was. There we go. All right, it was gritty pretty, and I liked it.
Rich, what'd you think?
The production, it was, I like the shots and everything, but there really wasn't much to it. I mean, a lot of the scenes were just him and his wife talking in a room. Other scenes with him at the post office, like the mailbox. It was kind of just, was this an indie film? You mentioned that?
Yeah.
Because then that kind of explains it. To me, it kind of felt like an indie film. Really scaled down sets. Really closed in shots, opposed to when you went outside and had that gun scene. You could definitely tell that gunfight was a big part of their budget, like towards the end, because they actually brought it out into a bigger scale. I didn't hate it. Production, I just gave it a 16 for those little factors.
Yeah, I agree. And I actually think I saw the notes here that that gun fight at the end was filmed over 4 days. So you're probably right. It probably was a big part of their budget. And it was, I think they shot this movie in Canada. And let me see if this is here. I think it was supposed to be like something like 36 below during some of the shooting of that part. So real snow.
It looked very cold.
So that was real snow.
Yes, obviously, yeah. So pretty cool. Overall I thought it looked crisp and clean. I mean, it is like you said, there's no exotic locales. This isn't Bond, right? They're not like all of a sudden they're Morocco, you know what I mean? And then the car chase scene, you know what I mean? Like it's fairly straightforward, but for what it needed to be, I thought it worked well. But let's get to at least my high score really in the acting. In terms of the characters for this, to be honest, I kind of liked them all. Mel Gibson's was great as this kind of like, grumpy, crusty old Santa Claus, who's just, kind of making it by and having to do these government contracts to stay afloat. Right. Mrs. Claus, that was a different take, but honestly, she was likable. Like even throughout the movie, you're like, man, that's the type of wife every guy wants. You know what I mean? So when you're feeling like crap, they just kind of talking you up. And shout out to the bad guy too, Goggins. He was legit. He was straight faced throughout the whole thing. He was just a nasty like little dude, even to the end when Chris calls him out. He's like, you were always just like a bad kid,
It's like a twisted child. Twisted child.
And man, you know, it's just it was just I don't know. I thought the
That-
characters for what
that
they
guy-
had to work with, I thought they all did great.
That guy plays an amazing bad guy, by the way.
Yeah, so slimy.
Everything I've seen him in, he's just fucking solid.
Here's the thing: he's a reptile guy, even though he has a hamster.
I love that scene. Would you end up getting would you end up getting the
Oh,
acting?
I give it
score?
a 22.
Okay, well, I give it a 25.
Oh,
I really, I
Oscar?
really like the
Oscar.
Oscar worthy. All right, Braveheart worthy. Shout out to our Braveheart episode. It's sniffing 300 views now. We want to throw that out.
Freedom still
Yeah,
popular.
freedom. It's freedom. Gibson comes with it pretty much every time. I like his speech to the elves when they had to do the military contract. It was like really full of emotion. He was like tearing up. He's like, I didn't want to do this, but we have to keep this factory afloat.
Yep.
And I like Goggins' character. I liked him ever since The Shield. He's always done a great job. And Billy, the little shit.
Little
It's
bastard.
funny because I put that he's a little shit, and it's funny because later in the movie he has him as
On
his
his
contact
phone,
as a
right?
little
On
shit.
his phone, his little
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, and he played a good job as playing a little shit. And I don't know if this was on purpose or not, or if it was just coincidence, but he looked like a young Ben Shapiro. So I don't know.
Who's also can be a little shit sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if that was like, on purpose or
Yeah, I
but he
can see
looked
that.
like a young Ben Shapiro. So
Yeah.
but yeah, 25 out of 30. The acting was really good.
Nice. I thought the acting was good. I mean, I didn't give it a 25. I gave it a 20, and I downgraded it a little bit more, honestly, because of the little shit. You know, the little guy who thought he was some badass gangster guy, killing his grandma and stuff. It just didn't quite fit for me, and it seemed a little too cheesed and hammed up a little bit from that part.
Well, then
Other
he
than
did his
that,
job.
everybody else
You
did
hated him.
No, he just didn't fit. He too polished, too, like you said, everything's gritty in this movie, but his scene was really polished, like he stepped in to an adult gangster role, and it just didn't fit for me.
I think that was kind of the spoof of it. I know what you mean, but it just didn't work for you. But I think that was kind of it, the idea, right? Is he's like, because he's the guy, he's the boss, he's the criminal boss, the hired the assassin, but that's kind of the shtick because, it's a kid. This is still a Christmas movie. Like you said, Al, like it's very straight faced, but at the same time, they're like, it's still a Christmas movie. It's still, there's elves.
It is.
You know what I mean?
There's elves.
Santa Claus is
elves.
motivated by the kids getting happy letters to him saying how much they love their toys. Like it's still like it still like keeps you on a little bit of a leash. Like we're not getting too far out there. You know what I mean? But yeah, I understand what you mean. He was probably my least favorite of all of them. Even like the scenes with him and his grandma, but it kind of worked too, right? Because even the grandma where she's all sappy, but then at the end she's like on the telephone, like all pissed off because she lost her money. Like, you better find out where my cash is going. You know what I mean?
Chase these checks. Check my signatures.
Yeah,
check my signatures. Like how they should be checking the signatures in all these states. All right, I'll leave it at that. All right.
Apparently, that's a little too much work.
Good segue. All right. Well, let's get into the directing. Let's see. In terms of directing, I give it a 20.
Okay.
I liked it. I like the take on it. To be honest, one thing I have in my notes is I feel like this movie got better for me, at least as it went on. It's dragged a little bit in the beginning, but as it got on, it kind of like started to loosen up and kind of like hit its stride. And if anything, I kind of wish it kind of went off the rails a little bit more towards the end and like went straight up gunfight and just went like crazy, like action, because it was just, I don't know. It was like, it kind of started the line a little bit. And then also too, there's some parts where you're like, okay, is this going to be an adult movie or is this going to be like a PG-13 ish? You know what I mean?
It wasn't PG-13.
it was rated R. I mean, so they're dropping F-bombs and saying this and that, but I was like, all right, let's just turn it up and just get crazy and just start fucking.
Just go all the way.
Yeah, just go all the way. We have soldiers here. This like just jump the gun.
Santa doesn't need to bleed blood. You can make him bleed gumballs or something.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
and
I feel like,
or milk. That would have been funny.
Like I feel like I get what you're coming from, but like I mentioned before, they played it so straight that they couldn't go balls out at the very end. Even though they almost did. Like the gunfight between Chris Kringle and like what was his name? Jonathan Miller.
Jonathan Miller. Yeah.
Yeah, like that was like I put this, and I know you guys don't agree with it, but this is the Christmas movie if Quentin Tarantino made it. I feel, especially at the end, like that was very Tarantino-esque, and
not enough blood.
Yeah.
What do you mean not enough blood? Like he shot Santa Claus in the eyeball.
Yeah,
All right,
but if this
guys.
was a Tarantino movie, that eyeball would have been hanging out and blood would have been spurting
Would
out.
have been squirting out, spraying blood all over the place.
Yeah.
Well,
And he would have been like, "Oh."
And then
regardless,
Santa would have took on like a bunch of assassins at the same time.
He'd be like, "Mrs. Claus, get me a rag."
yeah. Well, I still liked it. I feel like it's still very Tarantino-esque with just
Crazy
the way the
88 would have been
story
all
is.
elves. They would have just like poured out of the barn and just started fighting.
Yeah, well,
With
I still gave it a
knives.
24 out of 30 because I liked the way it was paced. I didn't think like you guys thought it dragged a little bit. I didn't think so. It was a slow burn, and then it just kind of accelerated towards like the last 30 minutes of the movie.
Right on. Rich?
Yeah, not bad. Actually, this was my highest score for the director, 25.
Oh,
Just
wow.
because
Oh,
how
wow.
we kind of moved the story. Yes, it did drag for me. There was a couple parts that did kind of drag out for me, but what I liked about it was the director kept it all closed into his world that he created. Like he didn't really stray from it too far out. You know what I mean? He kept it boxed in. This is his story. This is his mythical Santa Claus. And he kept it in there. Like the little toys at the end, flipped it over, made by Santa Claus or Santa's factory. The mailman knows that, oh yeah, I know this is Kris Kringle. Yeah, we know it's fucking Santa Claus. Like, you know what I mean? And also what I liked about it, shout out to maybe it was Mel Gibson or the director, man, the little play on the government, they really take the Christmas out of Christmas.
Well, yeah,
found a
I
way
like
to
that they
make it-
mentioned it. He like Santa is the economic like stimulus package for like the
The
United
world.
States for the world.
Yeah.
Like every Christmas time, like he makes them trillions of dollars. And I
Yeah.
like that he said like I should have like copyrighted my likeness so I could get paid for it.
For
Yeah.
royalties, I know. So yeah, I give it 25. That's why I thought he did a good job at keeping it in his world.
Yeah. Yeah, I got you. All right. Well, let's get into X Factors here. Go ahead, Al. Why don't you start lead the way on this one?
Yeah. Do I even gotta start? Like, what do you
Go
think I
ahead.
gave it?
You gave it a 10.
Give it
I gave it a 10. I'm back. I'm back, guys. All right. I gave it a 10
you are the
out
10
of 10.
man.
All right. Look,
Not the 10 man, the 10 man.
yeah, his line, like when he was like you think you're the first? That line itself, I'm like, I want a prequel to see who else tried to kill Santa Claus before, and he killed him too.
Yep.
So and like I said, this is just a fresh take on a Christmas movie. We've seen so many Christmas movies and they're all almost pretty much alike, while this is just a fresh take. So
Yeah.
10 out of 10, guys. Nothing else would do except for a 10.
Yeah, I hear. Rich, what'd you give it?
I give it a 5.
Of course you did.
I mean, just I like the fact that they turn him into, they play it on his mythos, or like I didn't even think about it till you brought it up. They made him into a Superman, or like a superhero. I kind of like the fact that they kept him as like this mythical being with the elves, and he had this, he's above us, beyond us, type of deal. So the whole many people try to kill him. Kris Kringle lost an eye. That didn't do much for me, like it did for you. I don't need to see a prequel for this movie. I don't.
I do. And Rich is always
I
wrong.
don't necessarily need to see a prequel. But a sequel would be nice. I liked it. I give it a 4. I thought it was cool. I thought it was a cool take on the Christmas story. Like I said, I like that they, like you said, that they kept it like straight faced, and at the same time kind of developed this new mythos around him, and kind of like I said, at least to me, the way I read it was like he's almost like this superhero-esque type persona, and I would like to see more of it, honestly. And where it even, like most sequels, where it kind of gets ratcheted up a little bit a notch, I like to see that to where he gets a little bit more wilder. I think it'd be fun.
Mel Gibson fights the Abominable Snowman in the sequel.
Yeah, Frosty takes on Frosty. Right? You know what I mean? You like,
no, let him battle it out with the Easter Bunny. Fuck it. You guys want to go all out?
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, I'd watch it. That's all I'm trying to say, right? He's
a little
Santa Claus, a little John Wick. You know what I mean?
If it takes it just a little bit over the top, I'll watch the second one. But if it keeps it too straight laced like this, I already know what I'm getting into. I'm not.
No, I don't like where you guys. I like that they kept it very like straight laced, straight. Like they didn't play it like tongue in cheek or anything like that. I like that they played it straight. I don't know why you guys want to make it like into like a really like.
I'm sorry.
Like
I'm sorry. I thought you like to have fun. I don't know. Maybe
I do
this is
like
a different
to
Al.
have fun.
Maybe this is Krampus I'm talking to right now. This isn't really Al.
This ain't the Grinch. This ain't the Grinch because I gave it a 10 out of 10 in X Factor, unlike you guys.
Stay on brand. Gotta stay on brand.
He's
all
back.
right. Well, total scores. What did we end up giving for total scores?
Oh, I gave it 86 out of 100, babe.
Oh,
All right.
wow.
Damn.
Mhm.
All
All right.
right.
What'd you give it, Rich?
I give it 72.
Okay, see, I give it a 66.
Oh, come on, guys.
So we're kind
No,
of
and I liked it. It just
Al.
that's just what it is. What it is. You know what I mean? I like to see him actually revisit it and maybe even give it a little bit more love and draw it
Yeah,
out.
this is a movie too I would like to revisit and see if I like it more on the second or third time I watch it, because it
Mhm.
kind of seems like it might be missing little stuff here and there from the first time. So
Well, agree to disagree, guys, because this movie was great. Everyone should go check it out. Have a new Christmas classic in your, repertoire. So there you go.
Yeah, well, I think it's a good way to start off our Christmas season here for the Jingle
Yep.
Cap. So
Jingle cap? Are we gonna? we're gonna stay with the jingle cap?
we're staying with Jingle Cap.
All right.
What else can we call it?
All right. I'm just saying. Just throwing it out there. Jingle cap.
All right, sounds good. All right, guys. Well, from the Jingle Cap, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Ooh,
Happy
see what we come up with next
holidays.
week. Eggnog is good, by the way. It's not that
It
bad.
is very good. I like it.
Especially with coffee and whiskey.
Keep drinking that and you'll sound like Mel Gibson. All right.
Oh, you get on that point.